Next question. Jocko, how do you handle it when someone up the chain of command betrays trust? Like, what is this? Like lying? They lied to you?
Well, this is a huge spectrum of things.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. In all
So
kinds of
for
ways.
number one, you just learned, right? You just learned something about someone's character.
Yeah.
You now kind of know better what you're dealing with. Now, if this is a major situation, you might have to immediately confront it and or go above them in the chain of command. I mean, if there's lives at risk, if there's something morally wrong that is happening, if there's something illegal that's happening that now you're going to get wrapped into, and that's another decision you got to make. If you're not going to be wrapped into it, then it's a decision you got to make if you want to ruin this person's life, whatever. That's a different decision. That's not this question. We'd have to deal with that in a separate question. Are innocent people being hurt? So if it's something like that, lives at risk, something morally wrong is happening, something illegal is happening, innocent people being hurt, then you're probably going to have to say something. Or you're going to have to say something. Now, I will tell you this, before you say something, make sure all your ducks in a row. Make sure you have evidence. Don't go off half-cocked. Be ready. Because people that are deceitful like this, they prepare. They are ready for battle to protect themselves, and they don't care what happens to other people. So you got to watch out for that. Now, if it's something minor, then that's something that you log down in the brain, right? It's something that you log down in the brain. And but it allows you to see a person's character. And that means, again, it's a minor infraction, but it also means you got to watch yourself and you got to watch them a little bit more closely. You got to be careful because people like that, they think they're smarter than everyone else. Yeah. They think that they're getting away with lies, so they think they're smarter. And there's like a little hint of sociopath in there, that they can get away with these lies. And so you got to watch them. You got to watch them carefully. And like I said, it kind of goes back to that previous question. Because you don't want to be a person that comes across as dishonest yourself. And if people don't think they can trust what you're saying, they're not going to trust you with other things. So if you know I'm not giving you good feedback because I'm too nice, you're not going to respect my opinion anymore.
Right.
So, when you're dealing with someone, if someone comes to you and said, again, this is honesty versus dishonesty. If you come to me and say, hey, what do you think of this plan? I'm not going to say, hey, I think that's a stupid plan. I might say, I don't know if that's how I do it. I might try this approach, right? You're just going to be diplomatic. If I'm not going to say to you, hey, I don't think you're smart enough to figure this out. I'm going to move you to a different division because I don't think you're smart enough to solve this problem. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, you know what? I need you on this other project over here that I think you're going to be really knock this thing out of the park. Now you're going to know deep inside. But it's called tact. And that's what you have to use. But back to the honesty, or when a person betrays your trust, you've learned about their character. If it's a big thing, you're going to have to talk about it. You're going to have to tell somebody.
Yeah.
If it's a little thing, you got to watch.
Right.
Qui vive. I think we just learned that vocabulary tonight. Who's there? Watch.
Yeah. You know how you say, and you log it in your brain, right? Log in your brain that, okay, they lied about that. Or, oh, all right, And that, I think you should constantly do that, right? And I think we all do that anyway. That's really our thing. That's why, and your brain has certain ways, just the way it's wired, like first impressions, right? That's usually a big thing. But really, what's really going on isn't that the first impression has more weight specifically than other impressions that you get along the line. It's because let's say I don't know that much about you. I don't know. Really, this is the first time I ever met you, heard about you, whatever. Your first impression, it's not that it's so heavy. It's just, it's the only impression. So it seems like everything. If you're a dick to me, okay, you're a dick. In my mind, you're just a dick. Second day, you're not a dick. You're 50% dick, which is that's still a dick, even if you're 20% dick, you're like, okay, I like him, but he's still a dick, So again, my point is you're always logging stuff in your brain. What is this person? What is this person? Now, when it comes to someone who betrayed your trust, this doesn't really count them out as far as trusting them. Because a lot of times the more time you spend with them, the more experience you have with them, you start to get a picture of, okay, he'll betray my trust in this case, in this type of situation. It's like if you have a friend who he would literally risk his life to save your life, but at the same time, he would probably hook up with your wife if he had the opportunity. So there's different kind of things. So as you gain experience with people,
he is therefore risking his own life in that situation.
right, sure, of course. But you start to get a picture of who the person is.
And I don't have any friends like that.
Thankfully, yeah. But
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's people that have different moral compass and moral values, and so you're judging them based on that.
Right. Yeah. So just be careful not to judge them based on that. So again,
well,
ultimately,
you are judging them based on that.
Yes, fully. But that's part of like this big picture. So because ultimately, you want to get to the point, and I've had this experience specifically in my life before, where anyway, you want to get to the point where you trust them. Yeah, I trust them to be that person. I know he's not trustworthy in this, but he's trustworthy in this. So his role in my life or in this company or whatever, I know. I trust him to be him. Therefore, I won't give him this task.
You trust them to be them.
Yes, exactly right.
Trust the scorpion to be the scorpion. Trust the frog to be the frog.
Yes, and that comes with like the experience. So if someone, if it, like you said, if it's a minor thing, don't go jump down his throat or just jump to this thing. Really just be like, okay, deal with it in your way. But like I said, log it in your brain and move forward. And keep your eyes open to things that you can trust them about.
Yeah,
so you get that full picture.
And I hate to say this, and I've said it before, I don't have these massively high expectations of other human beings.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'm kind of anticipating that they're telling me half-truths.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So don't get these high expectations and expect that people are going to try and get one over on you.
Yeah.
And then when you do get your core of people that you know are really, truly trustworthy, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That might be 3 people in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say that's fair. I think a lot of people are like that. And I think everyone's like that in one way or another, and it's a spectrum. But I've been in a situation where someone say, hey, do you know this guy? And I'll be like, yeah, I know him. And they'll be like, yeah, you're friends with that guy? Like, isn't he hard to trust because of like this? And I'll say, I don't find him hard to trust. I trust him to be him. And just exactly how you're saying, you trust the scorpion to be a scorpion. Yeah, a scorpion can be relied upon for specific things and straight up can't be relied upon for certain other things. So again, if you just keep your eyes open and, don't start burning bridges with the person if it's this small thing, as time goes on, you can start to get a feel of really who this person is in the entirety. And it might be beneficial in the situation you're in with them.
Know your people. I agree.